Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Online Digital. This podcast is your weekly dose of fandom entertainment and knowledge. We will be interviewing a range of fans from all walks of life, and in today's episode I will be interviewing one young man expressing his love for the popular science fiction show Doctor Who. We also have a statement from the Admin of Simpletons, Zeri. She goes on to talk about one of her favourite fandoms, which is The Sims. But first, we will go on ahead. This is my interview from Stephen. Good morning, I am joined today by Stephen Clifford. Stephen is a budding young YouTuber, and you can check out his YouTube channel by searching youtube.com/llamaoverlord13. He makes a range of fun and interesting videos. But on to the main topic at hand. So Stephen, when did you start watching Doctor Who?
I started 2006 in the episode Tooth and Claw. I came downstairs and my parents said, "Oh my god, this is Doctor Who. I used to watch this when I was a kid." I was like, what's it about? So it's got a werewolf in it. I used to like werewolves back then. I don't know why. So I went down, sat down, watched it. I really liked it, so I just carried on watching after that.
Ah yes, Tooth and Claw, I remember that very well. That werewolf looked really awesome, didn't it? I can still remember my very first Doctor Who episode. It was the episode titled Rose. Though I have seen Tom Baker in some of his other episodes, but I was quite young at the time, and I only remember parts though. But yeah, 2005 and 6 is so long ago, but it feels so near, if you get what I mean. Next question. Which actor do you think pulled off the character of the Doctor well in your eyes?
For me, it has to be Patrick Troughton. He is my favourite Doctor because I just think he did the character really well. I mean, he's so much different to William Hartnell, but in a good way. He was completely mad, like Matt Smith. He was intelligent, and he always used logic, which is both fundamentally the Doctor. Plus the fact he's an amazing actor.
Patrick Troughton, I would have to agree with you on that. I think he was one of the strongest actors to play the role, because there was a lot of weight on his shoulders to get the role right. And obviously he did do that. But if he didn't, that would have been the end of Doctor Who, and we wouldn't be having this interview, or even more freaky, not meeting any other Whovians. But now, what do you think Capaldi's Doctor will be like?
I reckon he's going to be fierce, but sort of like a fatherly figure to Clara, because he's really good at doing that sort of thing. I mean, if you've seen the thick of it, you'll know he's a fierce character. So I think he will pull off the character well, like that.
Ah, that is really interesting. Yes, I had a feeling that he maybe be like Malcolm Tucker, but without the swearing every 5 minutes. Just for the comedy effect, I really hope to see something like this, though I doubt that he'll be angry. He may be sassy and a bit odd, because the Doctor is a bit odd. Here is a big question for you. How do you express your love for the show? Do you create things or buy items?
Well, I collect many posters, I have loads of magazines, I have a huge collection of DVDs, and an equally huge collection of Doctor Who figurines. I don't use them, they just sit there.
That just sounds really awesome. I used to collect figurines when I was a bit younger. I used to have a David Tennant and K9 figurines. I have no idea what happened to them though. Sometimes I like to think they went on a little adventure. And now for the final question, Stephen. Do you think there will be more than 12 Doctors?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you saw what happened in the time of the Doctor. The Time was gone to 10 more lives, which means he has a whole new cycle. So, yeah, he has now 24 regenerations, which is awesome.
I do indeed remember the time of the Doctor. It was pretty awesome that he had another 12 regenerations. This will give us more to look forward to within the next 50 years. That's if 12 can cover 50 years though. We need to remember the 90s and the early 2000s. Stephen, I would like to thank you for joining with me today. It has been awesome talking to you. Now it's that time of the podcast where we go on to read the statements that some of our interviewees gave us. Here we have a statement from Zeri, who is the main admin of Simpletons. She goes on to say, "Could you tell us how long you've been a member of the community for?" I think it's been around 7 years. Not sure. I wasn't really online when The Sims 1 was around, but I was for The Sims 2 and was there almost from the start. I won a copy of it from a forum I was a member of. I was still pretty new to the internet. The Sims 2 BBS was more or less the first large community. Question 2. When did you start playing The Sims, and what was the very first family that you played? I remember when I first played. My husband at the time had an old copy of The Sims 1 and kept insisting I try it because he thought I would like it. I was playing Creatures, a sort of virtual pet game with real genetics, and he thought Sims may interest me. I reluctantly tried it just to shut him up. I was hooked from the start. My first family that I made was the Boot-Farche family, a mom, a dad and 2 kids, but they got boring fast, so I went and made 2 roommate dudes, Snake and Mooch. They died that first night in a horrible kitchen accident, and I remade them. I have remade them a few times, lol. Those guys were a riot. Question 3. With the Sim series, what do you create within the game? Well, I like legacy play, but I also love building. I dabble in the world building a little, but I'm not very good or experienced with that. I love building houses. I don't share many of them because I use a lot of CC doors and windows. I love making Sims too, but who doesn't? I made music videos once with The Sims 2. It was not easy, and I don't make those anymore, lol. I used to make Sim stories on the Sims 2 website. I had quite a few, but I've kind of grown out of that as, well, it's just too much work, and I would rather play my game. Question 4. Are you familiar with simming YouTube channels? For example, Curtis Parody, The Sim Supply? No, I don't really do YouTube. And question 5. What do you expect from a simming YouTube channel? I don't know, since I don't really go there. What are there? Tutorials? Call me old-fashioned, but I'd rather have a typewritten how-to than a video. I can read the instructions at my own pace and keep them side by side with my project. Videos have to be rewound and played over and over. It's annoying, and if I have my game running a video too would tax my machine, and I guess Sims movies would be a good channel. People who make movies with Sims, some of them are very talented. Well, the stuff I saw with Sims 2 anyway. It's amazing what some people can do with the game and an editing program. Thank you, Zeri, for forwarding me your statement on The Sims. You gave some really amazing answers. Once again, I want to give you a huge thank you for the help. So, this has been my interview with the one and only Stephen Clifford and Zeri, both very different fandoms. We have made a start on exploring these 2 fandoms, and we'll be discovering more in a later episode. In next week, and the week after, we will be interviewing a lovely guy that goes by the name of Omri. He gives Online Digital's very first live interview, and he has a lot to say about his chosen subjects, and it's something not to miss up on. But until next time, my name is Rachel, and this has been Online Digital with Stephen Clifford and Zeri.